Elizabeth Warren said the average American pays $140 just to file their taxes each year, while giant tax prep companies rake in billions. But it doesn't have to be this way. Next year, the IRS is launching a pilot program to give many taxpayers an option to file for free and directly with the government.
So it's going to be easier to fill out the paperwork?
Well, I'm assuming you'll be able to go online to the IRS's website and file similar to how you do on H&R Block or whatever, only it'll be way more annoying and clunky, and the website will crash, and you'll upload it and they'll say that they didn't get it, and you won't know for sure if it's actually been filed until the men with guns show up at your house. It'll be something like that. The funny part, there's two funny parts about this. One, as someone lined out pretty clearly here from GML with Nate and Charlie at Good AM Liberty, I said, yeah, you have to pay a company $140 to file your paperwork on the $10,000 the government took from you without your permission. If you don't do it, the government will send men with guns to put you in a cage. You should be really mad at the company that charges you $140.
Yeah. She forgot to say the government rakes in trillions.
Yeah, exactly. She's talking about these companies making billions while the government's taking in trillions from your money.
I think the new budget's like $6 trillion.
Something like
with
that.
With a $2 trillion deficit just already baked in.
Something around there. So that's ridiculous. The other thing is, and I don't know how.
And do you guys know the difference between $1 trillion and $1 billion?
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's like 1,000 times more.
Yes.
It's a whole bunch.
Yes. So these companies are raking in billions while the government's raking in trillions.
Yeah. And you get there's another funny part of this, which is there are numerous tax preparation websites, tax filing websites, where it is free to file your taxes. Federal taxes. Now, where they get you is they'll charge you for your state taxes. Now, we're in Tennessee. I got no clue what people pay to get their state taxes done because we don't have any state taxes. And there's quite a few states that are like that. But there's a lot of websites that do free federal tax filing already.
As long as it's not complicated.
Yeah. You think the IRS is going to be great with your complicated tax filing?
Right.
You know, it's a pilot program for probably government workers or something to file their taxes. No, there's several. TurboTax, Intuit TurboTax has a free federal filing option. H&R Block has a free federal filing option online. FreeTaxUSA, which is what my wife and I use every year, is free to file your taxes for federal taxes. They charge you for your state. The IRS is not going to make your state taxes free for you. They're just talking about federal. And so they're going to spend God knows what on a website that's going to suck to start a pilot program to see if they can possibly do what companies have been doing for decades now already, to see if you can possibly file it for.
Well, and why do these companies exist to begin with?
Because the tax code sucks.
Because it's so complicated anyway. People don't want to go sift through it and figure it out. It's not like I couldn't figure out how to file my own taxes. It's, do I want to do that?
Yeah, no.
The answer is no.
That would suck.
I'll pay an accountant.
Now, if you
because I have to do business taxes
and
all kinds of stuff, so it's like I don't want to fill all that stuff out.
If you were just W-2, it's not a big deal if they did a good job, you know.
Yeah.
If you had all your information inputted correctly and they were taking out the right amount and all that. But first off, the real problem is the thousands upon thousands of dollars that you have to give the government without your permission. Like, they'll put you in jail if you don't do it. And this idea that you should be upset about a company who tries to keep you out of jail by making you pay the right amount to the government, I don't see them as the villain in this scenario. Yeah. The villain is the government and the insanely complicated tax code. It should be super easy, you know?
That way people can find the loopholes.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero is pretty easy.
You go to these the tax show loopholes.
Yeah. What you should do is go to the IRS donation website where you go to donate money to the federal government if you think they are doing a good job.
Yeah. They should have a telethon.
Mm-hmm. They should.
Give away iPads for donations.
Why shouldn't they?
Get the donation match. Everything donated in this hour is going to be matched. You know?
Mm-hmm. They should.
Exactly what it should be. Somebody for the Fed Haters Group says, someone who works at a giant tax prep company, I'd love if the code was simpler. My job was obsolete. We don't make hardly any money from individuals. It's all from businesses. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because people who own businesses, it is complicated. They need to take advantage of any nook and cranny they can for business purposes to keep as much money as you possibly can in the business so that you can keep growing the business. And so you pay people, accountants who know the tax code well to make sure that you're up to snuff in your business filings.
And by the way, no one knows how much taxes you owe. Like the government doesn't know. You know, they probably
they know.
They might know if they'll audit you and pay someone a bunch of money to figure it out for you. Which, by the way, is your money that they're paying the person to figure it out for you.
Still, I like what Tom said here. To be fair, it would be easier if we paid $0 in taxes. That'd be easier for everyone.
That's a very easy tax code that I think everyone can get behind. Don't believe number 2. It's happening.